Hi there, and welcome to another episode of Photoshop Friday. I'm your instructor, Jessica Sprague. So we want to begin, as always, in the expert mode of Photoshop Elements. It's going to give us this big blank screen, and we're going to have what will be a layers palette over here on the right-hand side. So let's go ahead and create a brand new document. When I'm going to be posting something directly to Instagram, I want for it to be a square format. So let's come up to File and New and Blank File. And then we'll set our width to 1200 pixels, our height to 1200, our resolution to 72, RGB color mode, and a white background. Now we can click OK. Great. So the first thing that we want to do here is to get out the background that we're going to be using for our Instagram image. Next, let's go and grab our background. I've included one in today's course materials. So we'll come out to File and Open. And in the JS First Card Insta folder, you'll find this one called JS Hex Background. Let's go ahead and click on that and click Open. Now this is going to come in and fill up the entire screen, and that's okay. What we're going to be doing is moving this file onto our working document. So we'll grab our Move tool, the very top tool here in the toolbar, and we'll click and drag to pull that up onto the tab that represents our brand new document. And then you'll see that Photoshop switches over to the one we just created. And our mouse is still held down, and now we can just let that go. And there is our hexagon background. So cool. So the next thing we want to do here is to add in a square shape for the text that we're going to be adding in. So let's create a brand new layer just above the one that we have. The new layer button in Photoshop Elements is at the top of the layers palette right here. And now we're going to draw a square. The square is actually located here under our custom shape tool. There are several different shapes that we can draw. And we've got one down here in the toolbar at the bottom of the screen that is the rectangle tool. That's the one that we want. We want to actually draw a white square, so we'll click on our foreground color swatch right here, and we'll click on that top left corner so that we can choose white. We'll click OK, and now whatever we draw is going to come in as white. We want to click and drag to begin to draw here, and you can see that we've got this outline that is kind of the shape of things to come, and what we want is to create a perfect square. So we're going to hold down our Shift key as we go, and you can make this as large or as small as you would like to show as much or as little of the background as you would like to. There we go. And now we'll grab our Move tool and push that into position. Great. The only thing we have left is to add in our quote. So we'll come out to the same folder that contained our background, and we'll grab our quote. Come up to File, and Open. And then in that First Card Insta folder, we're going to click on jsfirst.png and click Open. Now this one comes in with this gray and white checkerboard background that indicates that this is a transparent layer, which is great because we can stack things on top of each other. So we want to, with our Move tool selected, click on any of the blue area that you can see right here. So any of the actual type. We'll click and drag, and don't let go. Pull that right up to the tab that represents our new image, and then we'll pull that down. And if that comes in and you can't see it, that might be, just like mine, that it came in a layer that's underneath the two that we have already done. That's a super easy fix, and all you need to do is just click and drag on that layer itself here in the Layers palette and move that up until it's at the top of the layer stack, and then you'll be able to see it. So we'll just click and drag to move that into position, and it's beautiful. So we've got our square here, we've got our quote, we've got our great white square, and we're ready to save this so that we can post it to Instagram. We'll come to File and Save for Web, and you can see that we've got our file format here. Mine is set to GIF, and I want to set it to JPEG. JPEG is what we use when we don't need any transparency or when it's a photograph. And we want to set the quality to something high. I usually set mine to 100 because the file size here doesn't matter very much. You can see that it's only 800 kilobytes, which is quite small. Our width is 1200 and our height is 1200, just like we created it. And so we can just hit save. Now, if you have iCloud or Dropbox or any of those web-based file management systems, then you can save your file out to there and access it through an app, say the iCloud app or the Dropbox app, so that you can post to Instagram. If you don't have either one of those, then the easiest way is to simply save this off and then email it to yourself. So I'm going to go ahead and save mine into my blog folder here, and I'm just going to call it JS First Quote. You can call that with your initials, of course, and then we'll click Save. So what I would probably do is go ahead and attach this as an attachment in an email to yourself. Then look that up on your phone and download it, but it's a great, easy way to get images up onto Instagram that you create here in Photoshop. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial, and I can't wait to see what you make.